Welcome to your first flight. We're sitting at Truckee Tahoe Airport, just north of Lake Tahoe. This is a perfect first flight because it's a Class Delta airspace, which means that it has a control tower, but it's not super busy. Truckee Tahoe also has a ground controller that is separate from the tower controller. We're going to do a basic VFR departure to the north. We'll do a little loop around one of the reservoirs here, and then we'll come back in and land. So it should be a really simple, short, fun flight. Very first thing we do before we do any flight is pick up the weather information, the ATIS information, and I'm using ForeFlight. You can see that on the bottom right corner of my screen there. You can use any application you want. Navigraph is great. SkyVector is free if you want to use that. Any of those work, but the ATIS frequency here at Truckee is 118.0, so we'll grab the weather here. There's a couple things that we're looking for in the weather. The first one is obviously the weather information in general, wind information, that kind of thing. Second is the altimeter setting. And then third, of course, is the information letter that goes along with that, somewhere Alpha through Zulu. And we're going to pick those up. Generally, a lot of pilots like to write these down.
NT4. Altimeter tree 0 tree 1. Visual approaches in use. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway and hold short instructions. VFR departures, contact clearance delivery on 118. Tree. Advise on initial contact, you have information India. Truckee Tahoe Airport in.
Alright, we got the information we're after. Altimeter is going to be 3031, so let's dial that in now. And it said that's information India, so we'll remember that. And then, of course, we actually were told to pick up our VFR departure information on 118.3, which is correct. That's actually the ground frequency here at Truckee. So let's do that. Let's dial in 118.3, and we'll just make sure that everything is working with the system and do a quick radio check. Truckee ground, Skyhawk 121 Alpha Zulu, radio check, please.
Skyhawk 1 Alpha Zulu, loud and clear.
All right, everything is working. They're communicating. At this point, we're just going to call for taxi instructions. And in the world of air traffic control, this is pretty standard. They all work like this. Who are you talking to? Who are you? Where are you? And what do you want? So we're going to do exactly that. And it sounds a little bit like this. Truckee ground, this is Skyhawk 121 Alpha Zulu at the hangar area. Ready to taxi with information India.
Skyhawk 1 Alpha Zulu taxi to runway 02 via Alpha Golf. Advise when run up complete contact tower on 120.575.
Runway 2 via Alpha Golf and then over to tower, Skyhawk 121 Alpha Zulu. So that's it right there. Basic readback of the instructions that we were just given, and then we're underway. And we'll just go via Alpha Golf to runway 2. And normally this is right where we would do our run-up. We're going to skip that this time. And we'll just pull up right here to the hold short point. And just like we were told, tower is 120.575. Dial that into COM 1. And again, it's the exact same pattern we're going to follow here. Who are you talking to? Who are you? Where are you? And what do you want? So we're going to do the exact same thing with tower here. Truckee Tower, Skyhawk 121 Alpha Zulu, holding short runway 2. VFR departure to the north, ready for departure.
Skyhawk 1 Alpha Zulu winds, COM runway 2 cleared for takeoff. After takeoff, fly straight out the quarry, then direct truck scales, then proceed on course.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 2, direct quarry, then truck scales on course. Skyhawk 1 Alpha Zulu, thanks. So again, the trick there is just reading back the instructions that we were given. Alright, that is the quarry that we are now over. And now we'll make the turn towards the truck scales. One thing I forgot to mention, while technically not fully required, because we were not given a squawk code or a code to enter into our transponder, it's best practice to be squawking VFR at
Skyhawk
all
1 Alpha Zulu, you are leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
VFR means you're squawking 1200. So let's set that in right now. We'll put in a code 1200, and we'll put the transponder into altimeter mode, ALT. Okay, there we go. We've now passed the truck scales. It was proceed on course. So what we're going to do is just make a little lap around this reservoir up here. And we'll be leaving the Class Delta airspace here momentarily, and we should get told that it's okay to change frequencies from the tower once we do.
Skyhawk 1 Alpha Zulu, you are leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
Frequency change approved, Skyhawk 1 Alpha Zulu. And that's it. Technically, once frequency change approved, we should be monitoring guard on 121.5, so that's what we're going to switch to. We'll do a short lap around this reservoir, and then we're going to call tower, and we're going to come back in. So one interesting thing about a Class Delta airspace is that there are no inherent clearances to enter or exit a Class Delta or a Class Charlie airspace. All that we need in order to be cleared to enter their airspace is two-way communications with the tower. So as soon as they respond to us, we're technically cleared to enter their airspace unless they tell us otherwise. A Class Bravo airspace, Bravo meaning busy, is a completely different situation. And let's go ahead and call. Back to tower on 120.575. We probably should pick up our ATIS information first and just make sure that it hasn't changed. That's just best practice.
Point tree. Advise on initial contact you have information India. Truckee Tahoe Air.
Okay, so it's still information India, which means everything we wrote down before is still valid. So we're going to call tower, ask for clearance to enter, tell them what we're doing. It's the same thing. Who are we? Where are we? And what is it that we want? Truckee Tower, Skyhawk 121 Alpha Zulu, approximately 8 miles north of the field at 7,500. Inbound to land with information India.
Skyhawk 1 Alpha Zulu, enter right base for runway 20. Report established on final.
Right base 20 will report established. Skyhawk 1 Alpha Zulu, thanks.
Skyhawk 1 Alpha Zulu, winds calm. Runway 20 cleared to land.
20 cleared to land, 1 Alpha Zulu.
Skyhawk 1 Alpha Zulu, contact ground on 118.3.
Over to ground on 118.3, Skyhawk 1 Alpha Zulu. Truckee ground, Skyhawk 121 Alpha Zulu, clear of the active and just taxiing back to the hangars here.
Skyhawk 1 Alpha Zulu, roger. Taxi to the hangars via Alpha.
Hangars via Alpha, 1 Alpha Zulu.